and welcome to episode 5 of my crochet and cross stitching podcast. My name is Amanda and I'm the creator and designer behind Little Forest Makes. I design different crochet patterns and have recently started designing a couple cross stitching patterns too. This is just my little space where I share what I've been working on, just because I really enjoy watching these kinds of things when I'm sitting and crafting away with a cup of coffee, and I thought, why not just share what I'm up to as well. So let me have a look here. Okay, I have a couple crochet things to show you, and then I've got about 5.5, I'm going to show you why it's a half, crochet projects that I'm working on at the minute, or I have to share. And then I've got 6 cross stitch whips and 6 cross stitch new starts, 5 new starts as well. So yep, as before, if you hear little feet pitter-pattering in the background, that is the beagle called Chili. She is going to be 2 in July and she's still very much in that puppy stage at the minute. So I'm just going to jump in because this still feels all very, very awkward, and the more I think about it, the more nervous I get. So it's been about 5 weeks-ish since I last recorded. The kids were off school and yeah, it was just a little bit hectic, but I also took a little bit of time off just because it's nice to have that time with the kids. But I'm very glad that they're back at school now and I've got a little bit of peace and quiet to do my crafting, and I'm very, very lucky for that. So without further ado, first things first, the Patreon pattern that I kind of had a sneak peek of, the colour palette I used last time, has now been released on Patreon, and it's this little guy. Now this little guy is Ken the koala, and I think he's just the silliest little thing. He's one of my smaller animal shapes that I use compared to the big chunky ones that you'll see in a wee minute. I used Drops Nepal as usual for this, and I used a 3mm crochet hook. I really like the way this light grey has got like a really slight, like there's little dark fibres in it as well. So yeah, he's got his little bag, he's good to go. Originally I was going to do some welly boots for, you know, like April showers type thing, but the idea of trying to get welly boots to actually stay on these little feet, I just didn't have the brain space at that point. I would like to explore that, but at the time, with everything that was going on, the big project that I mentioned before coming to an end, I just didn't have the bandwidth to try and figure it out. So I got a little satchel instead, but I think he's still sweet. He makes me think of, like, you know, that guy in the office that's always making sure that people's got their names on their food in the fridge and that everyone's up to health and safety standards. He kind of gives that vibe, but yeah. So that's Ken the koala. He'll be released 3 months time on my normal shops like Etsy, Ravelry, things like that, at his regular price, and you can grab him just now for £3 on Patreon if you want it. I will pop in a little sneak peek of May's Patreon pattern. I'm still recovering from the spring holidays, can you tell? But yes, I'll pop in a little sneak peek of May's Patreon pattern that I've been working on, and I'm really excited to share that one. I think it's very sweet, beginner friendly. I think, yeah, I just think it's nice, and again, it's going back to an old shape that I used to use quite a lot, so that was nice to work up as well. I had the Bear Gonk pattern release. They are now available on my Etsy and Ravelry pages, Ko-Fi, all that. I had talked about them last time. I have also got some work done on, this is a bigger design that I've been working on, and this is going to be Caroline the Crow. Again, she's used or I've used, sorry, Drops Nepal for her, and I'm taking my time with this one, and I think that that's probably frustrating some people because I've been sharing sneak peeks and whatever for a wee while, but I'm hoping that now that the bigger project that I had been working on is coming to a close, I can dedicate a little bit more time to her, because I really want to get it right. I drew up an illustration for her about 2 years ago, and I've kind of been too scared to work on it because I was like, what if I can't bring it to life the way I want to? But yeah, so far so good. I think it's a funny shape. She's got that big old head. It's all one piece. I've not sewn that on yet. The feet I'm just obsessed with. My friend says it gives chicken run vibes, which I have to agree with. I think they're just the funniest little things. They're using, I can't remember the name of the colour for that, but it's shown up a little bit pinky on camera, whereas it's more of like a bone colour, which I suppose is a bit creepy, but here we are. But yeah, I really like using the Drops Nepal because you can probably see it does have some like longer fibres that kind of poke out now and then. And it just, I mean, look at that. It just gives the full thing like a more rustic finish, I think. But yeah, so bigger eyes for this one. I think I used 10mm eyes instead of my usual 10 or 12mm, I'm sure. I've written it down anyway. But this is Caroline the Crow. I'm hoping that I'll be able to share some more updates, and I think maybe having her in the YouTube videos, maybe that'll kind of have a little bit of accountability factor going, and that it'll maybe encourage me to pick her up a little bit more and get some stitches in on her, because I do want to see her like come to life, and I don't want her to languish any longer than she needs to. So yeah, that's her. Next on my list is, it's another new design that I had been working on, and it's going back to the chunky animal shape that I like to use, but there's a feature on it that's pretty much almost the same size as their body. Look at that beak. I am obviously still working on this guy, or girl, haven't decided, and they're going to get some wings, and I'm thinking some sort of Hawaiian shirt would just be the cutest, and some nice bright colours. Again, using Drops Nepal for this with a 3mm hook, and going back to my chunky animal shapes that I'd been using. I really like him or her. I think that it just looks so silly with the eyes and then this big silly beak. The beak was kind of giving me some difficulties designing wise. Like, I couldn't get it to turn down slightly the way I wanted. Eventually I just thought, you know, this more pointed shape kind of keeps with the overall design feel of my pieces anyway, with the pointier feet. And I just felt, oh my goodness, I'm sorry, the dog is chasing the cat, please give me a minute. So yeah, I feel like this is going to be quite a cute one. The members over on Patreon are currently popping in some suggestions on what we should name this one. So they don't have a name yet, but next time I pop on here, hopefully I'll have some more updates for you, and maybe even be able to tell you what their name is going to be. Okay, last but not least, I have the Patreon pattern for, I think it was January, and that is Little Nessie. Nessie is going to be released on all my online stores next Thursday. It's either Thursday or Friday, I can't remember. I'll pop the date in if I can remember. But yeah, so she was a Patreon pattern back in January, and she's now being released for her general pattern price on all my stores. She's using different yarn. So for her, I've used the Drops Air yarn, which gives even more of a fuzzy texture. I absolutely love that green. I hope it's picking up well on camera. But yeah, so she's got the cutest little face, and again she's got other pointy little features that I feel are quite characteristic of my style. But let me know what you think. I think she's super cute. I'm really happy with her, and I'm excited to be able to finally share her with the wider population. So yeah, let me know if you're going to pick up a little copy of her, if you're going to adopt one, you're going to make one of your own, and what colours you would use. Yeah, I think she's a cutie. The cross stitching stuff. So I've got a stack of things beside me. I have given them a very, very quick iron this morning, but nothing major because I was getting the kids ready for school. But I'm just going to fire through what I've been working on, and yeah, we'll just see how we get on. So like I mentioned, I've got 6 works in progress that you've seen already, and I've got 5 new starts because it's been about 5 weeks and I was off on holiday, and it's just, yeah, you know what it's like, it's ridiculous. But anyway, first things first. Okay, this here is what I'm calling Stitcher's Altar. It's one of my own designs. I've got a random spool of 310 there. So this is Stitcher's Altar. This is another design by me. It's on a piece of 32 count mystery linen that I had tea dyed well over a year ago. And I'm just using 310 like I mentioned there. This is quite a small piece, as you can see. It's not massive, and I'm absolutely loving it. It's going to be so cute. I've got this big kind of vase bowl here that's got little skulls in it. I've got 26 for 2026, and I've kind of tried to think of the things that you could have in an altar. So you've got like almost like the chalice, and instead of the kind of dagger that I've got a sewing needle, and then just some flowers to fill some space. And up here I've got a beautiful big crow that I can't wait to have. I think he's going to be so cute. And yeah, this has just been a little something that I've been chipping away at. It's same size as the strawberry moon piece that I had made, which I'll actually grab for you now because I put that in a little frame. I don't know how well it'll show, if it'll be too reflective, but we'll give it a go. And yeah, so I'll keep you updated when I'm working on that and getting that released out into the world. I'm really, really enjoying it. And sometimes it's nice just to have something small on the go. So that's Stitcher's Altar. This, I thought I had left the glass in it. I didn't. I actually used the glass and wrapped the fabric around it, which I probably shouldn't have done, but here we go. Not the tidiest of backs, but it's in there. So yeah, this is my strawberry moon design I had spoke about last time. It is on, I think, 32 count. I can't quite remember. It's a Pole Stitches fabric, I'm sure. All the details are in the previous video. But yeah, this is now released and is on my Etsy and whatnot. You can grab a copy if you like. But I had just seen so many different strawberry moon designs that I wanted something that was kind of small and quick, and you know, wasn't going to take up too much time. And I think I'd mentioned in the last video that this is around like 2,000 stitches or something, which isn't too bad at all. So yeah, if you wanted a little something to kind of join in with the strawberry moon sal stuff that goes on, but you didn't want to commit to a larger piece, I suggest maybe a little something like this. A little strawberry plant that is also growing a moon, perhaps, perchance. Okay, next up I have, so I've done some more work on my Count Your Blessings sampler by Long Dog. Is it Long Dog Samplers? Honestly guys, I'm so sorry, my brain is just total mush today. But you'd seen this last time and I'd apologised because my dog had jumped on it. But I'll input a photo of where it was at and show you now. So this is the top part of it. You can see where she's jumped on this and the paw print. Oh, anyway, this is the top and I got a good bit done in this. It's now sitting at 30.4%. And this is using some of the called for colours, but a lot of my own just random colour choices that kind of matched somewhat to the picture. But I just think it's a bit chaotic. It's not colours that I would really put together, but I don't hate it. It's really good fun to stitch. And yeah, I'm just loving it, and hopefully you can see it, and apologise for the dirt. That I am stitching on, I think it's a 14 count white, just a random piece that I had in stash, but yeah, we'll get that back in its bag. The next thing I'm working on is still in a bag. Sorry, let me take it out. Okay, the next piece that I'm working on is called the Celtic Triple Spiral, and that is by a shop called Evely Stitch. Apologies if I've not pronounced that correctly, but I'll put it up on screen. This is a new start for me, and here it is here. This is so pretty. It is, I mean, I've got the tattoo of it. The Celtic Spiral, and in the colours in the listing photo were very vibrant and bright and things, which is beautiful, but it's not exactly my style. I like, as much as the Count Your Blessings sampler's got a lot of different colours, they're quite earthy tones, which I don't mind. But for this, I decided to go for some slightly more muted tones, and I don't know how well they're going to show up because of the bag. But you can kind of see there that I've went for some different colours, and I feel like they're just playing together really, really nicely. So far, I'm excited to get some of that yellow and some of the pinks in there. And this is how I'm doing. And I just think it's looking gorgeous, especially on this colour linen. It's just very natural vibes, and I'm loving it. And yeah, I ended up having to put it down because I can't remember if I said this, but it's at 39.8%. I started it and this was all I worked on, and I was like, I need to get some other bits and bobs going if I want to have something to show you guys. And little did I know that I wouldn't be able to record during the Easter holidays, and that I would end up having multiple new starts to show you. But here we are, Celtic Tree Spiral, and I'm loving that little piece. I think I might finish it in a round frame. Maybe a wooden one, a dark wooden one would be quite nice, or I might paint a little wooden frame. I'll wait and see how I'm feeling. The next one I have to show you is one that you've seen before, Christmas Coffee by Carolyn Manning Designs. I'm using some of the called for, some substituted, and I think this is 18 count, I can't remember. This is now going to my mum. I'm going to finish it and I'm going to gift it to her when she's seen it. I can't remember if I mentioned this last time. I probably should watch the previous video first. But she's seen it when I pulled it out my project bag, and she gasped and said, oh, that would match my sitting room. And I laughed and said, that's fine, it's yours. So she's, I think I did mention this because I remembered saying how she's very, very like knit worthy and stitch worthy and stuff. She knows how much work goes into these things, so it's really nice to be able to gift something that I know she's going to really appreciate and cherish, because these things take so much of our time, don't they? And we love them, and we don't really want to give them away if we don't think that they'll be loved to the same amount that we will love them. So yeah, this is just a piece of kind of beige Ada that I had, and like I said, some of the called for, some of them substituted, but overall I think it's looking very, very nice. I'm liking this colour palette that's coming together, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's sitting at 36.5%, and I should have inserted a photo, but I feel like I got a good chunk done on this. Felt very productive when I was putting it away. Okay, next up we have, so this is a start that I had done. I'd started it previously, started it last year, but I don't think you guys have seen it yet. And it is Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. I'm not going to unclip it. I've got it all rolled up and pinned and clipped and all that stuff. But yeah, this is on a piece of, have I got it written down? 32 count linen. I think it's a printed one. I can't remember the colour. I don't know if it's a vintage country mocha or whatnot. But again, using some of the called for and some of them substituted with what I had in stash at the time. When I picked this up, I had done the box outline, and I had started the house up here, and I had started this, I had done up to about here on the hill. So I got a really good bit done in this. I got the web put in, which looking at it, I don't know if I should be doing back stitch before it's finished, or do you guys go and do all the back stitch at the end? I know that when it's got tension, like all those wee webs straighten out, but it just worries me, like I don't know. But yes, I got the house finished off, I got the ghosts put in, I got a bat and a half, the moon, all the text, and this beautiful little skeleton guy down here. So I feel like I got loads done on this, and it was really nice. And I am a bit of a spooky person, so I quite enjoy having a Halloween stitch on the go, and I don't mind bringing it out even if it is nice and sunny outside and all that. So yeah, this is my project bag for it, is the pouch that it came in, the pattern came in. Oh, sorry, showing the chart. And that's some of the flosses that I've got in there. But yeah, this is just, I think it's amazing. I know it's going to be huge, and I showed it to my partner the other day, and he said, "Where's that going to go?" And I was like, "It's going to go in the living room, darling. That's going up in the wall. It's going to be there all year round." And he just laughed and was like, "Yeah, I thought so." So, yep, I told him not to worry about it, and that it would probably take about 7 years before it got there. Like I've said to you guys before, I'm very much a process stitcher over product. Like, don't get me wrong, I would like the product on the wall eventually. Sorry for the rustling. I would like the product on the wall eventually, but overall, it's the sitting down with a coffee and stitching that I enjoy. Okay, next up I have Artemis by Carolyn Manning, and this is now sitting at 14.7%. And let me have a look. Did I have? Okay, so I was at 7% last time, so I've got a good bit done. And this is on a piece of 18 count Ada from Lakeside Linens, and it's in the colourway Dusky Lilac, and it's got some beautiful mottling on it, but you're probably not going to see it because this is a full coverage piece. So there's a beagle here on it, obviously, and yeah, I'm using all the called for this beagle. Oh no, that's my hair. Anyway, all the called for this piece, and I'm going to keep this Carolyn Manning for myself. I love this one. I also have another couple in my library of hers that I want to work on, but I'm making sure that I finish the other two first. I'm going to try and hold myself to that and see how we go on. So yeah, this has had a good bit of work done on it, and I like how my stitches are looking. I feel like they're not too bad. I like to use 2 strands on 18 count. I feel like it just makes it look nice and full, and I like the coverage that it gives me. So yeah, that's what I got on that one. Next up, I have the Snail's Hollow Stitch Along by the Crypt Stitch. or the Stitch Crypt even, sorry. And it is on 32 count, hand dyed by me. I used tea and coffee and all sorts. So I'll pop up a picture of what it was like last time, and now we're sitting with this handsome gentleman down here. I think he's so cute. I love him. And so the snails here are part 1, and the next part here is part 2 that came out last week. You'll probably be able to see, have noticed that the stalk of these mushrooms blends in quite a lot with this fabric. In some lights it's totally fine. I haven't quite decided if I'm going to leave it. I'm going to wait and see what the rest of the design looks like, because I might not mind if they blend in a little bit. But failing that, what I'm going to do is take some coloured pencils, or maybe a watercolour pencil. I've not decided yet. I'll do some little experiments, and I'm just going to add a little bit of shading on the fabric behind the stitches, just to give it the chance to kind of stand out. And I mean the teeniest little margin, not a lot at all, just enough that it kind of tricks your eye into seeing, you know, the stalks that are there. So I'm really, really enjoying this. I haven't finished part 2 yet. As you can see, we're going to have some beautiful red mushroom caps here. And the colours are just gorgeous so far. I'm so excited. I'm using all the called for, I believe. Yep, all the called for colours. And I've put them all in this little thing in numerical order so that I can just reach in and grab them when I'm working on it. And yeah, this has just been really nice. I'm trying to, as you can see, I started, and then all I've got is these little mushroom caps and a little something that's on here, but I deliberately stopped and put it away because this was a part that was going to be a 2-week wait until part 3, and I made the mistake with this guy. I stitched this whole guy in about 2 days, and it's like 900 stitches. It's a lot. And I stitched it all in like 2 days, and then I was just absolutely itching to get started on the next piece. So I've deliberately tried to slow down a little bit, and really take my time with it, because I don't know. I want to enjoy it. I don't want to get frustrated and all that. Not that I was frustrated, you know what I mean. Impatient. Chili the beagle has now found a gift from her brother. He left her before he went to school, which is an empty toilet roll tube, which she will now proceed to shred in the background. Okay. The next piece that I have is a new start, and it is on 18 count Ada, and I think that seems to be a favourite at the minute, 18 count Ada. But look at this. This is an over the garden wall themed sampler that I've started, and I am so excited for it. I am using some of the called for, some substituted as usual, and yeah, I'm just loving it. This was another one that, again, I started it and I didn't put it down, and I ended up having to tell myself, right, okay, let's just stop a minute and work on some other things. But look at that border, it's so sweet. Isn't it just the most cottagecore, whimsical, lovely wee thing? So I've started working on that, and I'm currently at 45.6%. So I am flying through it. I'm enjoying it so much. But like I said, I did have to rein it in a little bit and say, okay, let's work on some different things for a night or two. And I ended up with another new start, obviously, didn't I? So the next new start I have, I don't know how I'm going to be able to show you, because it is also on something that I picked up at the weekend. At the weekend, me and my mum like to go round charity shops. We think it's great fun to have a rummage about and see what treasures we can find. And this week, or last week, I found a frame, big frame, and I found it for a whopping $4.99, and I think it's 27 inches long, so I'm not going to be able to fit it on the camera. But I started, I'm hitting my coffee cup, let me move out of the way, there we go. I started an absolute dream stitch of mine, and I think it's the next 3 things that I need to show you guys are all dream stitches that I've wanted to stitch for such a long time, but have never got round to it. And I don't know if it's because I didn't trust my skills. I don't know if it's because, I don't know, but it was coming up to my 1 year anniversary since I went self-employed and started focusing on my health and well-being and stuff, and I thought to celebrate, I'm gonna have all these new starts, any new start I want, and let's get those dream pieces started that I really am so excited to have. So as you can tell, this is Deadly Aquarium by Lola Crow, and I've got this on a piece of 18 count hand dyed, and I think it's Coffee Craft fabrics, is it? I have ordered, they're coming today, I've ordered some little side tensioners because I'm finding it a little bit tricky just because it's such a wide piece. I need that little side tension. But this was my first time putting it on a frame. I followed a YouTube tutorial and got that done. And yeah, I just love this so much. I am using all the called for colours. I really want to take my time with this and really, really enjoy it. But as you can see, I got a massive chunk done. I mean, I just started this and I'm sitting at 27.3%. I'm so proud. I love it. Look at the colours in that frame. And I've got a little majestic sea flap coming in up there. And another one. And yeah, I'm just so excited. I can't wait to have all the different creatures and the colours coming in. The level of detail that she can get in so few stitches is just absolutely awe-inspiring. I can't wait to watch this literally come to life stitch by stitch. I'm so excited. The next kind of dream project that I wanted to work on is on a piece of 16 count Ada that I tea and coffee dyed, and it is History of Witches. I think this is History of Witches number 2, I think, by Little Stitcher Shop, and I'm using all the called for except the white because the white that had been called for was just a little bit too warm toned, so it was blending into this quite a bit. So I've changed it for the straight up, is it blanc? Changed it for that, and it's popping off a little bit better, and yeah, you can see that on camera, it's much better. And yeah, this was a new start and I'm really excited about it. It's sitting at 22.8%, and yeah, I just think it's going to look really, really nice. I've been enjoying, so the way I approached this was I had done the text at the top, which, I mean, can we take a moment? Look at that. How nice are those letters? It's like something straight out of a newspaper or something. It's excellent. And then what I'd done was put in these start of the little dividing lines for the 4 women, and it means that, see, if I'm putting a little bit of this colour in here, I can then bring it over to the different spots that I'm needing it. Chilly, what are you up to? Oh, she's trying to sneak around. Right, can you not touch the Deadly Aquarium, please? So yeah, I've been kind of taking the colours from one part and seeing where I can fit it in other parts, and now I've went back to focusing more just on the one woman here and her dress, and it's just been a really nice stitch, and I've been enjoying using the 16 count. A little bit easier on the eyes. I just like the look of the 18 count, but ultimately I enjoy both. So yeah, this has been a really, really fun thing to start, and it's been exciting to start because, like I said, it's something that's been in my favourites for such a long time. So to be able to finally have that on the go is quite exciting. And the last thing I have to share with you is still on my frame because I was working on it this morning, and I intend to go back to work on it while I'm uploading this video. It's on a random dusky blue, or you know what I mean, that kind of, it's a strange grey blue tone. 16 count Ada, I believe. And I'm using some of the called for, some substituted, and I'm at 11.8% on this. It's Blueberry J, and I'm so excited. I am totally and utterly in love with this. I'm so excited that I'm finally stitching on it. Look at the colours in those berries. Oh my word. Just gorgeous. I'm so in love with it. I can't wait to have it up on my wall. I can't wait to see if she brings out any other bird fruit themed pieces. I have seen Cherry Magpie. I've not fully made up my mind if I'm going to stitch that one. I don't know how I feel about the colour palette, but again, I might pull the colours and see what I want to do, or look at other people's and see what they have done and see if there's anything I can pull inspiration from. But yeah, Blueberry J, as soon as I had seen it released, it was all I thought about. And to now finally have it started and sitting here, like, I am so excited. I mean, just look at that structural looking, oh, it's just gorgeous. Now, the outline on this piece here, this darker thread, if you look closely, you can maybe see that I've used a strand of two different colours together. I couldn't get the right colour. I didn't have the right colour in stash, and it was one of those things that I'm like, I want to start this tonight. I don't want to wait on anything. And I thought, I wonder if, and this might sound really silly, but I was like, I wonder if I can blend two colours together in the same way that I can, like, when I'm painting and stuff. So I did, and I feel like it worked really, really well. I'm really, really pleased with how it turned out. I think it looks very accurate to the image, or close to the image. Certainly a hell of a lot closer than the threads that I had without blending them would have matched. So yeah, overall I've just been living my best life. I've been listening to my audiobook while I'm stitching on this, and I finished that audiobook yesterday. And for those interested, it was Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson, and I just loved it. It's got so many good memories stitched into it already. Watching TV with the boys, stitching on it with the boys while they're playing on their games or whatever, listening to my book while they're away doing their own thing, playing football, and watching their faces when they see the blueberries come to life. That was the biggest thing for me. It's like, they got it. Do you know what I mean? Like, when I first seen this piece, the J and the blueberries and the details in them, that's what, like, made me gasp and think, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with this. And when I started putting the shading and the highlights in these berries, both the boys were like, oh my goodness, they're amazing. And I'm like, yes, they get it. So anyway, that's all I've got. I know, Chilly, I've been talking for far too long, but I'm done now. That's all I've got. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thanks for sticking with me. And yeah, I've got a great big smile on my face. My cheeks hurt from smiling so much, looking at all these goodies. I absolutely love everything to do with crafting young beagle, don't I? She's telling me to hurry up and wrap it up. So yeah, if you're new and you've came across me, exactly. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end and watching. If you have came back, thank you. You coming over? Hi, baby. Thank you so much for coming back and seeing what I've been working on and supporting me. And I'm going to say all the YouTubey stuff, but if you don't mind, a little like, a little subscribe, that would be hugely appreciated. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.